Hello beautiful soul, and welcome to Manifest with me, Rebecca G. I'm your manifestation, meditation and mindset coach who blends equal measures of soul, strategy and a little sprinkle of science on the side. Consider me your modern day pink witch with my spiritual toolbox packed full of ideas to energize and inspire you and to put the action into the law of attraction. Let this podcast be your weekly fix because, my beautiful soul, it is time to turn your vision board into a reality.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world watching this. So excuse the horrendous cold. There's going to be there's going to be a lot of edits today with me sneezing and coughing, and it's that time of the year, isn't it? And I have not been this poorly for years, and I'm not just blaming it on my son. He goes to nursery, and I swear to God, he comes home from nursery with a bug, and then he goes back into nursery with a bug. I'm like, Jesus, that we picked up every cough, cold. I had strep A, and then I had a chest infection. And I'm actually booked in to see a naturopath in the new year. For me and him, actually, I'm taking us both for a bit of an MOT, a natural MOT, so we can see any supplements we need, anything we can be doing, any tinctures, any spells, rituals, anything. I'm like, give it to me, like anything that's non-medicine. I'm obviously from the nursing background world, and I'm a prescriber, so I'm very much appreciate general medicine and how beneficial it can be for us. But there's always other things that we can be doing as well. So I'm definitely going to be taking a look at that for my health in the new year. So I wanted to record today's episode about why it's important to take time out, and actually how we can do that, and how it can make us more productive, and how it can massively impact our lives in such a positive way, and of course help our manifesting as well. So in today's world, I don't know about you, but my life is jam-packed. There's always something to do. There's always something to think about. There's always something to stress about. And if you're like me, you find yourself constantly running from A to B, juggling far too many freaking balls, saying yes to far too many things, and generally just living high on life. And I'm always, high on life, having a good time, high on energy. And it's only recently when I was plonked on my bottom, I was like, actually keeping up with life's demands and this fast-paced, demanding life that we live in. And going back to actually just going off track here about what I said the other day in relation to the women's circles, my previous episode was, think back to those times where women were, looking after the family and looking after the children and raising them and cooking and cleaning and doing all that stuff. But they didn't have jobs in those days. Well, maybe they did like cooking and cleaning things, but they didn't have other stuff going on. So this modern day woman has got so much more on her plate than we have ever had before. So if you are feeling a bit burnt out or stressed out, then give yourself a break, because we are the generation of spinning more plates than we ever have before. And it's no surprise we get sicker, we get more stressed, we get more coughs and colds, we get more anxiety, we have more depression, we have all of these ailments that we never saw before, like many sort of 50, 60 years ago. And I think just sometimes we just forget to just stop, take time out, breathe, get some perspective, and just flip and relax, because nature is doing that at the moment. Look out your window, the hedgehogs, the animals, like the squirrels. I hardly see any animals in my garden at the moment. Like, everyone is just hibernating. And I made a pact with myself that next year, to get my well-being in much better check. I'm just realizing how awful my voice sounds today. I'm like, I put off recording this for about the last 10 days, these podcasts. And I'm like, when I get this recorded today, I'm not going to get any out in January for you guys. So my pact is to take better care of myself, spend more time doing things that just actually doing nothing. So when I was looking at this, I was like journaling the other day, and I was like, what am I going to do next year? Like more time reading and more. And I was like, no, I'm going to have more slots of time where I've got nothing in there, just literally doing nothing, just, watching TV or just chilling out. Like, our bodies need that so badly. And I don't think as I get older, I've really come to realize how much we need rest. It sounds silly, doesn't it? Like, especially in this period of where we are going to be out more, we are seen to be socializing more, seeing more family. Like, actually nature is telling us to slow down more and hibernate. So if you're hearing this in the lead up to Christmas, then just take some time over Christmas to really relax, to really go within, and really not put pressure on yourself to have something booked in every day. Because that's what I was always like. I was like, oh, we can see Granny and Grandad this day, and we can see that friend that day, and have a dog walk with that friend that day. And then I'm like, actually, me and Kevin this year have got 4 days where we're like, family time only at home, and we will just eat and watch movies and do what we want with Harley. So it's really good to do that. I'm really being very strict with my boundaries and my time. and being okay with that as well. So let's look at reasons why it's good to take some time out and time down. And number one is really just to re-energize your body. Taking time out massively helps your body and your mind just reset, refresh itself. And more often than not, when you take just a little bit of time out, you end up feeling so much more energized and motivated. I did this recently when we went to Bath on the last half term. And we just got like a little Airbnb and we had the most amazing time. Me and my husband, we just mooched around the shops all day. And yes, I ended up in the White Company buying like what made my bum twitch with the most expensive candles I've ever bought in my life. But I tell you what, if you ever buy a white, I'm not sponsored by them, by the way. If you're listening, send me all the candles you want and I'll promote them for you. But the woman in the shop said to me, light it for an hour, blow it out, and then your whole house will smell. You're not supposed to blow the white candle. It's not supposed to burn the white candles all night. Thank God, because they cost an absolute bomb. But yeah, they absolutely smell incredible. My whole house smells amazing. Every time people come in my clinic or my room or my lounge, they're like, people don't come in my bedroom, by the way, so I said that. My husband comes in my bedroom. He's like, oh, it smells so good in here. And I haven't even lit the candle. That's how good they are. They give off such good smell. Anyway, where was I going with this? Yes. So taking more time out, just having more time, and you feel really more energized. I knew where I was going with that with Bath. So when we went to Bath, we were like, shall we go on holiday? Shall we book a holiday abroad? And we did it last year. And we were like, oh, that was so stressful with the little one. We're like, let's just go somewhere in the UK. I felt so good. I felt so de-stressed. I felt so happy when I came back. I had more energy when I was training. It boosted my productivity when I came home. Taking that break out is just such a guaranteed way to feel re-energized. And it definitely did me the world of good, and definitely did us as a couple the world of good. So we needed that connection time, because when we're busy and we're stressed, you know, taking a break just gets a bit deprioritized, doesn't it? It just gets put on the back burner. And actually, in itself, that's counterintuitive. So actually taking some time out, booking it in the diary. So when you're doing your New Year's setting goals and you know, your intuition, where am I going with this today? You're setting goals and your, what's the freaking word? Oh my God, I can't even think of intentions. That's the word. And if you're not doing that, then get on our January call. Like, I'm going to be doing this with you and working through a work booklet. It's going to be so much fun on the 2nd of January. It's our first Sacred Souls call. You can join it as a one-off call. The link is on the website to book. I'll put it in the show notes below. But if you're a Sacred Souls member, it is only £19 a month for our membership. So yeah, check that out. Anyway, I just wanted to get that in. So secondly is to have perspective. Stepping away from your crazy, busy everyday life, taking time for yourself, whether it be an hour to have a coffee break or read a book or a weekend away or 2 weeks abroad, wherever it is, it's just such a great way to get a little bit of perspective. And when you open up to more, you know, more things in your life just than beyond work and daily stresses, you give yourself time for clarity and perspective, and you just gradually start to feel less stressful than before. You honestly, I feel like I'm a balloon when I go away, like I'm full of so much going on. And then it's like, my husband said, it's like the balloon bursts, and then slowly it's like, I just chill down. I become more relaxed. It takes a few days to do that. And it also gives you some time to just gain some perspective on your life as well. Number 3 is get creative, because when you're relaxed, you get more creative. I don't know if you're like me. I've got such an overactive mind. I'm always coming up with ideas. But when I take time off and I'm in a relaxed state, I become really, really creative, like super creative. And I always forget this. But a relaxed state does allow you to kind of access this different part of your brain. And it just allows you this time to just go within, to chill out, relax, unwind. And you'll just find yourself to be more inspired, thinking more creatively. And it's when my best ideas come to fruition. It's always when I'm walking somewhere different, when I'm on holiday. Like, it could just be walking down Bath High Street, which is what happened for me. Or it could be that you see something that that triggers something in you. And I had this when I went to Bath. It was all in Bath. And I was walking down the street, and there was like this hippie kind of crystal candle-y shop. And this woman had all these things in the shop window. And they were like, all I can describe them as these glass domes. And she had like all her candles in them. And I just went in the shop and I was like, oh my God, I absolutely love what you've done with your display. I would love to do this for my website. I was telling her all about Sacred Souls, and she was like, oh my God, you can get them on Amazon. They're so cheap. Let me show you the link. She even ended up sending me the link on email. And like, so I was like, if I hadn't gone to Bath, I would never have seen that idea. When the photographer came to take all the pictures for all our products on the shop, you'll see it on the candles, which are the 2 Libras candles, which are the intention setting candles. you'll see them in these glass domes. That's where I got that idea from. So taking time out, you never know what's going to come up. You never know you're going to meet someone in your path, or you're going to see something, or something's going to trigger you. You're going to go, oh my God, that'd be so good for my business. If you run a business, of course, like me. Number 4 is be productive. So having time to rest, to recuperate, is the best way to ensure that you are always productive. The more you wear yourself out, the less efficient and productive you're going to become. So this is especially pertinent when you are working and you are swamped with deadlines and workloads. I don't have a deadline as such, because I have, my own businesses that I run, but there are deadlines that I need to meet, and quite often I end up leaving them till normally leading up to it, because I work better like that under a bit of pressure. But having said that, when you are having deadlines, or I don't know if you're working in corporate or whatever, for example, like my husband does, he has deadlines like every day. There's deadlines. The stress and the pressure means that him not taking breaks and giving himself time out, he just doesn't give himself a moment. And actually, even he says he comes back with fresh ideas for his business and his team as well. But actually, taking time out in these moments, especially in this day and age, has never been more important, because our workload is, as I said at the start of this podcast, we are working so much more than we ever have. We don't just stop work. It's emails, it's on our phone. We are constantly bombarded with apps and advertising. And I've taken so many apps off my phone this week. I don't know what it is about Sports Direct and Boohoo, all those companies. I'm like, oh my God, do you need to message me every day when you've got a sale? I'm like, no, I'm not having this anymore. I was constantly being triggered by these apps, and then going in and going, oh, let's have a look, and then buying some random fucking pajama that I probably don't need. I've got so many pajamas. I'm like, do not need any more anyway. Number 5 is to keep positive. So more than anything, have time to spend with positive people. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? But like, people will help you feel more positive. The more you spend time with your loved ones who, simply that you love, or boost your positivity and your happiness, it's so important to have that balance of work. Oh my God, my voice literally sounds like it's going to go, doesn't it? My apologies for this. Stay with me. I'm going to get to the end of this podcast. It's just important to have that balance in life. So taking time out to escape the day-to-day, so that you can keep a positive outlook on life, spending time with people that make you feel good as well. So it's no good taking time out and then spending time with people that just like whinge about their life. Or, you got those friends that are like, oh, you come away from them, you're so drained. I have literally taken such a step back from people like that over the last, I'd say, 5-10 years. My circle is very, very small with people I hang out with now. And I appreciate if you live with someone that isn't positive, then that's equally must be very, very hard for you. I'm lucky that I chose well with my husband, and he's not happy all the time, neither am I, but we make each other laugh quite a lot. So, why does my watch, sorry if you heard that, my Apple Watch just like talks to me all the time. It's random. Anyway, but taking time out, even just a walk on the beach, even if it's just by yourself, okay? So even if you just want to take some time out, walk along the seaside, or, it's such an ultimate cure for any stress of being in nature. I say this a lot. And also stop making excuses. Stop making excuses that you're busy, that you haven't got time to take time away from stuff. You have to dedicate time to yourself. Not only will you love it, you'll have tons of benefits, and also you'll start to just appreciate the little things in life so much more as well. And when people used to say to me, take time out, have some time out, it'd be really good for you. This isn't my 20s. I'm like, you must be joking. Like, every day's a work day. I was like desperately multitasking, keeping every ball in the air that I could, because just the experience of like having downtime, I was not dealing with what was going on inside of me. And that's another podcast in itself. So I wanted to keep this one really short and sweet today. I will talk about that, about why I hid away from my healing. And my next podcast is going to be about healing and trauma, and how actually healing any of your wounds that you've got will massively help in your manifesting. But that's for a whole nother podcast episode. So I'm going to come off this today. I'm going to keep it nice and short and sweet, because I literally feel like my voice is going to go. I'm a mix between Frank Butcher and Dot Cotton today. So apologies for the voice, and I hope you've stayed with me today and enjoyed the more husky tones. So have a fantastic Christmas. If I don't see you, if I don't speak to you before then, if you haven't checked out Sacred Souls, then check it out, because it's going to be incredible what I've got lined up for you guys next year. Have a great Christmas, everybody. Love you loads. Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm sending you a huge virtual squishy hug, and I hope today's episode has helped giving you some inspiration, energy, and a light bulb moment. So do share your light bulbs or any takeaways you've had on your socials and tag me in, as I absolutely love to hear from you. So if you love to share, you are going to love my giveaway. every month I'm running a new competition to win a large moon box packed full of crystals, candles, affirmation cards, incense, my Love Yourself to the Moon and Back journal, and a real surprise of spiritual treats that change every month. So listen up if you want to win and get your hands on this, because all you have to do is, number 1, leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts. Number 2, tag me on your socials with either a post, video or story of your top takeaway of that specific episode. Be sure to tag me in as @Welstead-Green so that I see it, and you'll be entered into my free prize draw. So from my heart to yours, lots of love to the moon and back. Have a fabulous week, beautiful, and I can't wait to spend time with you again next week. Mwah.